Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for always stopping by. For those of you who see me for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. In today's class, I want to teach us how to cut an oversized corset. Many people have been asking me that, so today I'm going to give us the easiest way of cutting it. If you look at these three lines now, I have my under bust, waistline, then bust point. This is bust point, this is under bust, and this is waistline. So I'm marking my bust distance, that is nipple to nipple. I have 9 inches there, which is 4.5. You are going to roll it up like this. You just need your bust point, under bust line, under bust, then waistline. This is the measurement I'm using. This is my shoulder, bust, under bust, then waist. My shoulder to under bust is 14. So now this is my shoulder, 15 divided by 2, 7.5 inches plus half, so I made it 8. So on that point you're going to measure 7 inches. You can also make use of 8 inches depending on the size of armhole you're using. So if you're cutting for a bigger person, you can use 8 inches for the armhole, but in this case I'm using 7 inches. So the purpose why I'm doing this is maybe you want your corset to have a yoke, so that is why I'm making it this way. That's the bust point line, then this is the under bust, then that is the waist. In this case now we're not using upper bust line. So on your under bust now you're going to measure 1 inches from the both side. Sorry, 1 inch. 1 inch here, 1 inch here. Same thing applicable to the waistline. 1 inch here, 1 inch here. So you connect them together. So after when you might have done this, just give it a little curve there instead of making it straight, so that it will make it look like a curve. You understand? It will make it look like a bustier curve instead of just making it straight. You curve it to the bust point line like that. So now you are going to determine how deep you want the neck. You can go as far as 8, 8.5, or 9 inches or 7 inches depending on how deep you want it. But in this case I'm using 7. At least 7 is the moderate one. It won't expose your bust and it won't be too high. So on that line I'll just measure ½ inch, then ½ inch. You can just connect it together by dotting it. So the purpose of that half now is to know where you're curving to. This is the armhole, so just give it any kind of shape you want there. So mine is kind of coming in form of sweetheart like this. Then you go to the armhole. So assuming it's 8 inches, you measure for your armhole, that you are going to go to that 8 inches. So in this case now, if you want to make it in form of tube, you'll be able to form your tube. Then if you still want it to have yoke, you can just cut off that upper part, then you replace it back with whatever material you want to use as your yoke. So either it is nude net or maybe lace material, or maybe you want to return back whichever material you're cutting. What you need to do is just place this on it, cut out a little round neck, then you fix it back after you might have done your the corset. So if you look at the neck now, this is what I formed. This is the kind of shape I want. If you like, you can make your own to be deeper, or you can make it V shape instead of this little wave shape. So that's that about that. So now you are going to take your bust measurement. The bust measurement is 40. So you are going to add little allowance, that is half-inch allowance for the joining. 40 divided by 4 is 10 inches plus the half-inch joining allowance. The same thing applicable on the underbust line. The underbust is 34 inches divided by 2, which is 8.5 plus half-inch the joining, then plus that 2 inches, plus these 2 inches that you are cutting off. So you are going to add them together to make up the body measurement. You are going to mark the same thing on the waistline. You know, you're also having waist 34, so 34 divided by 4 plus half-inch joining allowance, then these 2 inches that we're going to cut off, you're going to add them to make your actual body measurement. So after connecting it together, this is what it looks like. Same thing here, same thing here. So now on this part, you are going to measure 1 or 1.5 inch. Then on your underbust line, you are going to measure 2 inches or 2.5, whichever one you're using. It's not bad, but here I'm using 1 inch, then 2 inches. Just connect them together. So on this part now, taking either 1 or half-inch. You can use half-inch, you can use 1 inch, then you can use 1.5. But here I'm using 1. Then you cuff and connect like this. You cuff and connect like that. Either have 1 inch or 1.5, but I think 1 is moderate. Then on this part, you are going to measure 2 inches. You can also use 1.5, but here I'm using 1.5. Because the more you curve this place, the more the bust will fit in. So you can use 2 inches or 1.5. So in this case, I use 1.5. Here, 1 inch. That is the moderate one, 1 inch. So this half-inch we measure the other time. We are going to mark 1 inch into from here, but that will be after connecting this half-inch we measured the other time. You can just use your dot to connect it to that point. Yeah, then from that dot you are going to measure 1 inch. Don't forget, like I said, you can also use 1.5. You can also use 1.5. As you can see, this is what it will look like. This is what it will look like. So if you use assuming you use 1.5 from that side, you measured 1.5, you'll see the way the shape will come. So just add your 2 inches sewing allowance on all the measurement. Yeah, that is the sewing allowance. If you look at it now, you see that it's coming out already. Depending on the kind of shape you want from here. If you want it deeper, you can go down, then you come. But this is moderate one, it's not going to expose the bust in any way. So, but if you want it to expose a little bit, you can still come down, following the same shape. So all you need to do now is cut out the shapes. So this other side now too, if you like, you can measure in ½ inch so that it will enable it curve more. Yeah, to give you more curve there. Measure in 1 inch. If you like, you can also leave it straight. So if you look at this shave now, I intercepted that place a little bit. I just go out a little bit so that it will give you some kind of round curve. So just like I said the other time, that you can use either 1 or 1.5. Assuming we are using 1.5 now, this is how the shape will come. So for you to just be sure that if you look at it, you see that it's still going to give you another nice shape. So that was why I said it's either you use 1 or 1.5. So now this is the first one, then this is the second one. You can label it so that you won't get confused. So if you like, you can make this 4 pieces. If you like, you can make it 4 pieces. And if you like, you can leave it this single 2. Whichever one you do, it's okay. But in a situation whereby maybe you want it to have cut that is joining at the upper part, maybe you want to add another fabric, you can just do this 2 inches here, 2 inches here, then 2 inches here. So by the time you connect it, you connect like this too. So when you join it together, you can label it like this so that you won't get confused. So when you join it together, you can decide to use another fabric to replace that upper one. But in this case, we are not cutting into 4 pieces. We just need this 1 and 2. Just these 2 pieces is what we need. So cutting the back now, just leave out 2 inches for zip allowance. Just leave out 2 inches for zip allowance. Then if you look at it, I didn't join them together. I am leaving 1 inch distance between them. 1 inch distance between them. That is for the back dart. Then you follow the same. This is the waistline. Yeah, that is the waistline. So just follow the same shape. Trace it out. Trace the front pattern out. Trace it out like that. So all you need now is just get the midpoint of that distance that we left out. That's the midpoint of that 1 inch, which is going to be half. Roll it up. That is the under bust line. So all you need to do from there, just how we take our normal dart. So that is the way you're just going to do it. Half here. I don't think my hand is straight, but I believe you understand what I mean. Half this side. Then you just take your dart to the upper part. So that is that about the back. So if you want to give your back any kind of shape, you can give it. Then you can also decide to leave it straight like this. It's not bad. So now placing it on the fabric, let me show you where you are going to add allowances. So for instance, now maybe after doing the cup and you want to fix back the yoke, that is the way it's going to look like. That's if you want to make use of the yoke. So now cutting on the fabric now, if you look at it, this other side now, this is the way you are going to join. That is going to form the cup. It's not going to add allowance, but this is where you are going to join to the main body. So you are going to add ½ inch allowance. If you look at it, you see the part I'm adding. You see the part I added allowance, ½ inch here, ½ inch at this other side. So the main front is not going to have allowance because that is where you are going to join normal to form the cup. So this particular piece now, you're going to gum warding. Not really the hard one, but not the softest one too, so that it will be firm. You gum warding on it or whether it's wordy, whatever you're calling it. So if you look at this part now too, you see where I added allowance, half-inch allowance. Same thing on this small piece, you see where I added the allowance, just your half-inch allowance. Half-inch allowance here, half-inch allowance here. So at the end of the day, by the time you join these two together, to form your cup, all you need to do is just, make sure it's equal. So by the time you join it together, you just fit it in here. Then you're going to do the same thing on the lining, but on the lining now you're just going to gum paper stay, not wording on the pieces. That's that, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.